Welcome back to Bird's Eye View. I'm Sam Nunes. Today I want to talk to you guys about animal weather forecasters. So, can animals clue us into the weather? Now, I'm not going to be talking about the groundhog and how the groundhog apparently can tell us if winter is going to be ending early or lasting a little bit longer. But instead we're going to talk about actually animals that can clue in to oncoming changes in the weather and react to them, and how humans have actually learned to clue into these behaviors. We've even made fun rhymes to help us remember them. So, what are these behaviors and how can we notice them too? So we'll start with our familiar animals. Farm animals actually do behave differently before changes in the weather. Sheep huddle together before rain. The rhyme for this is, when sheep gather in a huddle, tomorrow we will have a puddle. So, why exactly are they huddling? Are they huddling because they're predicting the change in the weather? Well, they're huddling together for warmth. And this is probably because of an oncoming cold front, which usually brings rain and cooler air. So if we are able to see that the sheep are huddling, we know that the air temperature is going to drop, which usually means that rain is coming within the next 24 hours or so. Now we can also clue into the cow's behaviors as well. So depending on where the cow is grazing and what direction it's grazing in, that can tell us what the weather's going to be looking like, again, within the next 24 hours. So if a cow's tail is facing west while it's grazing, that's a sign of fair weather. And if a cow tail is facing east, it's a sign of incoming rain. Now, why is that? Well, cows are actually, again, not predicting rain specifically. They're just reacting to the change in the wind direction. They always want to have the wind coming from behind them so that they can smell potential predators. So if the wind is coming from the west and they put their tail to the west, this is normally associated with stable conditions because we normally have the westerlies that are carrying air from the southwest to the northeast. So these conditions are normally fair, not rainy, clear skies, stuff like that. But if they turn and they're grazing so that their tails are facing to the east, this means the wind is coming from the east, which is a sign of an unstable atmospheric condition, which usually means rain within the next 24 hours or so. So let's span out a bit here and we'll talk about some wild animals. So, how are the birds behaving? Well, we got a rhyme for this one too. It's, when birds fly high, the weather will be dry. So, self-explanatory. If birds are flying high in the air, it means that it's not likely that there will be rain anytime soon. Now, why is this? So, this applies more with birds that tend to fly higher, so it's not going to be like your robins who stay closer to the ground. It's going to be more like your swallows and smaller birds that fly really high in the air. And the thought behind this, there's a couple ideas. One is that on dry and warmer days, the bugs that these swallows are eating are being carried higher in the air by updrafts caused by rising warm air. And this only happens on warmer, fairer days. So when the bugs are out and they're being pushed up higher in the air, the birds are going to fly higher to eat them to get their food. But another interesting idea is that birds can actually hear a storm coming from their ability to hear infrasound. So this is more for migratory birds. They can divert from their normal path if they hear a storm coming, but they'll fly down low to get to shelter. Another animal behavior that's probably not very commonly seen by us land folk are sharks. Actually, will swim deeper in the water before a storm. So the theory behind this is that they can feel the drop in atmospheric pressure before a storm. So normally when a storm's coming, there's a drop in the atmospheric pressure, a low pressure system comes in, and this really affects the sharks. They can really sense that change, and so they swim deeper to kind of compensate for that change in pressure. And the benefit of this is that the deeper the water, the less affected by the turbulent motion of the waves up on top. So, after looking at all of these examples, can we really say that we can rely on animals for our weather forecast? Well, probably not if you're trying to plan a picnic for a couple days in the future. But if you were trying to decide if you should leave your windows open overnight, this could actually help you. So the next time you see dark clouds coming in and you know that it's about to rain, take a look at what the animals are doing. Are you able to find the signs? Thank you for listening.